Hi race fans, I'm Elliot Camies and this is a NASCAR Cup Dates Friday preview show. This week I'll be looking at the drivers and teams that you should be keeping your eye out for this weekend at Dover Motor Speedway. And joining me this week is Dan. Dan, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing pretty well for the night, man. Thank you a ton for having me. Just sitting here raring to go, hoping the weekend gets here as fast as possible, because all I want to do is kick back, relax with a cold one, and watch that Dover race.
Well, this weekend at Dover, I've gone for Martin Truex Jr. Keep your eye on him, because this is why he'll be at the front of the field. Truex has found a lot of success at Dover, with 3 wins, 9 top 5s, and 18 top 10s, and I'm sure that he'll add to that stat on Sunday. His average finish of 11.7 sits him 4th among active drivers, behind Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, and Cole Custer. Dan, what's one driver you're looking at?
That's honestly a hard one, especially here at Dover. This track is a lot of the things that Bristol is, just a little bit bigger and a lot faster. But if you asked me to pick one person to keep my eye on, it's got to be the 9 car, Chase Elliott. That kid has been up front almost every race. He has a legitimate shot to win, especially with that Hendrick power backing him. We know what they've done here. We've all seen it. We remember the 1, 2, 3, 4. It's ancient history, though, but we can't erase the fact that they are as good as they are, and that kid is really hungry. Keep an eye out for him. I think this is going to be the race where Chase Elliott finally breaks through and gets that first win of the season.
So what's maybe one team you've got your eye on?
Well, Elliot, in my opinion, the team is a lot more of an interesting question than which driver. Because, sure, Hendrick, we know their history there, we know how well they can do, but no one wants to hear about that. No one wants to hear about what they have done. We want to hear about what's going to happen and who to keep an eye out for. The Alpha and the Omega. The 1 and the 99. Trackhouse Racing. This whole season, they have been showstoppers. They come ready to play ball, and they don't go home without a fight. Anytime that I hear the name Ross Chastain or Daniel Suarez, I for a second double take and say, wait, who? But now here they are, and they are legitimate contenders. Beside the Hendrick boys, who have always been up front, we know about the 1, 2, 3, 4. We know about what Jimmie Johnson has done at that track. He owns that place. Hendrick has a stoic history there. But right now, I think you need to keep an eye out for the 1 and the 99. Those two, don't expect them to be anywhere near the back of the pack.
It's funny you say that. I've actually gone for Hendrick Motorsports. And I am one of those people that care about the history of the sport. That's why I went for these guys. Their heads Dover hot off that 1, 2, 3, 4 place finish. You know, they sweep the top 4 positions. Something's only happened 3 times in NASCAR history. 3 of the 4 car stable have won there in the past. You know, you got Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson. Both of those guys went on to be champions. Alex Bowman went on to have his best career season to date. I mean, yeah, it's hard for me not to pick them. So I guess we'll get you on next Friday. We'll see who got the better end of these picks, and we'll make our picks for Darlington. How does that sound?
Hey, no problem at all, man. Thank you again for having me. It means a lot to be able to come on out and help out how I can and just be part of the whole experience. Thank you again, man.
Dover opened in 1969. Richard Petty took home the inaugural victory after winning in that iconic number 43. And Dover celebrated its 100th race, Kyle Larson winning in that number 42 Chip Ganassi Chevrolet. Larson ended a 75 race winless drought to take home that gold-plated Miles & Monster trophy. And I mentioned earlier that Alex Bowman won in the number 48, but you may remember he wasn't the only driver to do that in the Hendrick 48. Jimmie Johnson won Dover 11 times in his career, giving him the track record over names like Richard Petty and Bobby Allison, both having 7 wins apiece. That's it for this week's Dover preview. Make sure you check in on Tuesday, where I'll go over some of the major storylines and perhaps some you may have missed. I'd like to thank Dan for joining me this week, and I'd like to thank you guys for watching.